Here we go. All right. Lymphomaniac time. All right, I'm going to give everybody a moment to come on in, make themselves comfortable. Let me know when you're up in here. Sunday. Ooh. Thirsty. All right. Let's see who we got. Okay, Chakra King is in the building first. You made it. You are first in the building. Who else we got coming on in? Coming in hot. All right, we got Black Ace, we got Light Code Radio, Chris E, Chikizi, Sage Me, Tariq, what's going on? What up? Merging Spirit. Sage Mo, y'all up in here quick. All right. So I got a treat for y'all today. All right, so I got these ebooks pumping, and some of them I hadn't uploaded yet because I'm just sometimes I don't have time. Sometimes I'm working on certain things, but one of the ebooks that I've been meaning to put up has been one on the lymphatic system because we don't really talk about that system a lot, but we retain water. Women, y'all end up getting edema and bloating and varicose veins, and y'all be trying to get rid of that water weight, and the men too. So getting a better idea of what the lymphatic system is necessary. And people talk about the lymphatic, but who talks about the glymphatic? So there's the lymph and the glymph. There's the lymphatic and the glymphatic, and we're going to talk about them both. And to add a little bit extra on it, I made a movie. It's not long, it's like a little over 4 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be released on YouTube with my narration, similar to how I did Sinners. But I'm going to go over the video with y'all today and kind of break down each one of the scenes and how it relates. But it's kind of a guide to learn about glymphatic, water, and other energy systems in the body. So I hope y'all enjoy it. In addition to that, anybody who signed up for Herbal University, I want to say thank you. I did send out the initial checklist on the 1st towards everyone that's starting on the 21st. Any of you who are in my previous class who I said go free of charge, if you have not gotten your email, you might not have reached out to us. Because I'm not going to just send it out to everybody because, some people on other sides of the world right now. But for those of y'all that are interested, you go ahead and send me an email at info@Psionic Say, I was in a previous class. Can you send me the checklist so I could get ready for the 21st? And it's going to be lit, Yes, Ms. Saunders, my Facebook was hacked. Amongst the glitch going on with the site, amongst other things going on in the world, my Facebook page also got hacked, and it just had these very dark, disturbing clips that people were putting up on there. So I just deactivated it. So, if you're looking for KG the Artist Degree on Facebook, or you're hoping that my Instagram posts pop up there, you won't see it there. You got to come to IG for that. What up? Carnita Groves from Ghana. Sakari, how you doing, brother? Saranat, thank you very much. Okay, I appreciate it. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. One second. Let's see. I can wait. All right. So here we go. All right. So understanding the glymphatic and lymphatic systems. I guess I should just share the screen. see. Okay, cool. Let's see. Can y'all see that? Okay, good. All right, class today. Class today. Class today. I say class today. Understanding the lymphatic and glymphatic systems by KT the Arch degree. The lymphatic and glymphatic systems, the waters of renewal. This is your unified healing physics mini guide. As I mentioned before, these are small excerpts from my upcoming book. All right, these are little mini guides. Introduction. The lymphatic and glymphatic systems are not passive waste drains. They are the body's rivers of light. They move structured charged water through the fascia and ventricles, cleansing not only cellular debris, but emotional and photonic residue. Together, they form one continuum. The glymphatic system renews the brain by night, while the lymphatic system renews the body by day. Both depend on movement, breath, grounding, and light. Without them, the waters stagnate and consciousness become heavy. The Tin Man, the heartless reflection of industrial humanity. The Tin Man stands as the archetype of a world that has traded organic life for artificial structure, heart for hierarchy, and flow for function. Okay, this is the same one from The Wizard of Oz, y'all. Once a living man, he is now frozen metal, an embodiment of the machine age, cut off from nature and from feeling. His endless chopping of apple trees symbolized the mechanical exploitation of natural resources, a being made of iron and oil destroying the very orchard that could nourish him. But beneath the metaphor lies a biological truth. In unified healing physics, the heart represents the electromagnetic torus, the generator of coherence, love, and flow. The lymphatic system, the body's oil, lubricates this flow, allowing the blood, the metal, to move with rhythm and life. When the Tin Man loses his heart, his dielectric field collapses. The lymphatic oil dries up and his joints lock. Just as human beings today, overloaded with plastics, heavy metals, and stress, become rigid in body and spirit, his dependence on oil to move again is not just mechanical, it's symbolic of our society's dependence on industrial petroleum, both literally fossil fuels and metaphorically eternal stimulation, synthetic hormones, microplastics, blah, 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 artificial energy. The Tin Man has no heart because he no longer generates his own voltage. He's become a corporate fiction, a tax number, a metal identity, a cog in the fascist machine, cutting down trees, the living fractals of Earth's own vascular and lymphatic systems. The cure for the Tin Man and for humanity is the restoration of the inner oil, the lymphatic waters charged with light. When we ground, move, breathe, and reconnect with sunlight and rhythm, we lubricate the fascia and restore flow. The lymph moves, the heart hums again, and metal becomes man, alive, feeling radiant. Any of y'all still interested in KT University? Just send your inquiry to info@soionicbotanical.com. Please don't waste no time. Jump on it. Info@soionicbotanicals.com if y'all are still interested in that. If there's any honey wholesalers out there trying to get in that honey business, you can also reach out to me at info@soionicbotanicals.com. There's also some new things on the site. I spent some time getting it restructured. It's a little bit more easier to navigate, and there's some more options on there as well. And I'll go over that a little later. All right. All right. One, the fluid intelligence of the body. In unified healing physics, water is not simply H2O. It is also H3O2, a living dielectric medium that stores charge, memory, and photonic information. Within this medium, the cerebral spinal fluid, also known as CSF, acts as the body's lateral third and fourth and around the brain and spinal cord via the arachnoid space, a web-like coif forming a shimmering interface between the nervous system and the field. The fontanelle, known as the soft spot in infants, is literally a fountain portal, the point where the etheric water interacts with cosmic and solar light frequencies before the cranial bones fully fuse. Even in adulthood, subtle pulsations of interthecal pressure reflect the dynamic breathing of the craniosacral rhythm, like the tide of the inner ocean. This CSF carries nutrients, hormones, and photonic signals between the ventricles and neural tissues. It is influenced by iodine through the thyroid gland T3 and T4, which acts as metabolic translators of light, setting the rhythm for cellular respiration and water structuring. A deficiency in iodine dulls this flow, while optimal levels ensure proper CSF charge and glandular coherence, particularly within the pineal gland. Two, the lymphatic network, the body's in the river. The lymphatic system is a network of nodes, valves, and vessels through which plasma, immune cells, and fats circulate. Unlike the cardiovascular system, it has no pump. It relies on movement, breath, muscle contraction, and the piezoelectric action of fascia to move lymph upward against gravity. Don't get it twisted. Not saying the heart's the pump, but the arteries have sphincters that squeeze and help to squish and push fluid along. The lymphatic don't have sphincters. They have to use the actual movements of your body, your muscles. Within the system are key centers: the thymus, the educator of the T cells, the spleen, blood purifier and immune gatekeeper, and the gut associated lymphatic tissue, the first frontier where the immune system meets the outer world. This occurs just beneath the intestinal brush border, where glutamine nourishes the enterocytes and support the production of IgA, the antibody responsible for defending mucosal surfaces. When this region is weak, pathogens, toxins, and allergens breach the barrier, leading to inflammation, fatigue, and immune confusion. Lymph nodes act like living transformers, regulating energy and filtering waste. Their valves mimic counterspace acceleration, where stagnation is drawn inward toward dissolution, much like a drain pulling water through a vortex. This centripetal action mirrors the south pole of a magnet, symbolizing implosion, return to potential, and purification. Let's go. Number 3, movement flow and the pelvic pump. Y'all know about the pelvic pump. The lymphatic and glymphatic systems rely entirely on rhythmic movements to function. Without motion, stagnation breeds microbial overgrowth, pleomorphic transformations, and fungal or bacterial proliferation, the biological equivalent of a stagnant pond. Physical exercise, jump rope, cycling, rebounding, such as trampolines or pelvic floor activation, Kegel exercises, serves as the essential mechanical pump for lymphatic flow. Of course, copulation and making love with the one you love is part of that too. The pelvic floor acts as a central diaphragm, linking the breath, spine, and core fascia to the upward lymph current. As these issues flex and release, the lymph moves through its nodes like a symphony of fluid light. Breathing deeply through the diaphragm enhances thoracic lymph return, while grounding connects charge differential between earth and plasma. Together, these keep the lymph clear and the brain's glymphatic tide smooth and radiant. All right. Okay, let's take a pause, and we're about to go into the movie. I hope it just oh, there's a video file. Let's see if I could do it that way. All right, y'all. We about to get started. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right. So this is a story, Lymphomaniac, about the Tin Man, about the man who got industrialized and artificial, turned metal, rusted, lost his way, and had to relearn how to, excuse me, y'all, how to reestablish the flow again, and teaching the science of lymphatics in the process. All right. I think I'm just going to play it through the first time so y'all can watch it, and then we'll kind of go over the scenes. All right. So without further ado, Lymphomaniac. All right, there we go. I appreciate all the love in the chat. Yeah, that score, that music, I did that on Sona. Right? Isn't that the name of the app? So that's one of them AI beats. I put the proper, the information in, and that's the music I got out. I cut it up and I used it as a soundtrack. And then that's a flow that I use for all of those videos, getting my prompts together. But I wanted to tell a story that can also show you how the body works, and specifically in this case, the lymphatic system. All right, so what we have here is a man who essentially he is supposed to be, and let's see, yeah, why is this starting? It should be back some more, actually. There we go. Okay. So he starts in nature. That kind of represents our people in the current state. You know, we go to the park, picnics, you know, drink green juice. So there's definitely a connection we still have. But there's, you know, we on that phone, we got our foot in tech. There's a certain amount of microplastics and biosensors in us. And you can see how the metal is creeping up, you know, on his arm like that, right? And then as time goes on, the natural environment turns industrious, you know, smoke, the pollution, and more of that metal, more of that artificialness takes over, you know. And he could feel that he's losing his heart, because remember, the Tin Man was missing a heart. So this is some time later where the artificial reality has just taken over. There's no more authenticity being utilized any longer. He's a Tin Man, and you know, TIN is tax identification number. You know, this is the fiction. This is the corporate, you know, slave to the state. And you know, the environment has been dilapidated, and it's destitute. He's chopping down the spoiled dead trees still, because he's just kind of still in the emotion of it. You know, he's a husk of what once was, and to the point where the heart just causes him to fail. And if you notice, you know, you only got a little drop of melanin left, and there go that barcode, there go that tax ID number, there go that there go that mark right there, you know, just showing that. And here, at the first look, you think it's a beautiful waterway in nature. But if you look right over here, you can see the rainbow. That's that same thing from the Greece. So this is to give you an idea of how the lymphatic system actually works. You know, that we're pushing all these fats, you know, and we're pushing all of this, these toxins and this sludge out. You know, so it's similar to this, you know, in the body, between interstitial fluid and the fluids of the lymph. And there's no vessels. It's really in the negative spaces of the body. So it's like a waterway. It's just free and it's out there, and you're trying to get that thing to move, you know. So just to give you an idea of it all, you know. And then this represents the fascia, you know, and the fact that your organs inflate like balloons, and just like water takes on the shape of the container, so do your organs. But in this case, the container is the web-like matrix of your fascia. All right. So this is what we see, you know, and this is pressure valves, to give you an understanding of how the valves work in with lymphatics. You know, as the lymph flows through, they go through these valves, but it's a one-way valve. And then when it tries to come back, it closes, just like how these pressure valves have these releases where you can open and you can close them, but they stay shut. You know, they release just a little bit of steam. And when we get sick and our lymph nodes get swollen, you know, because, you know, we having pain and we sore because the lymph nodes are swollen, or breast cancer with them lumps because of the lymph nodes in the armpit getting filled up with all the aluminum. You know, this is pressure. This is backing up flow, and it's causing these pipes to rupture, you know, causing the pipes to rupture. And here we have a sister with a coif. That's what she's wearing on her head. I could be saying it wrong. COIF, or male coif, or male coif, and it's like this chain link headdress. And this is what your arachnoid space is like: your pia mater, your dura mater, soft mother, hard mother that exist, in between your scalp and your brain, and the arachnoid space is what is able to pull nutrients out of the cerebral spinal fluid into the blood vessels, to go back to the brain and to go to the rest of the body and vice versa. So that's what I wanted to show here. And the fontanelle being at the top of the head is the area where our energy is released. And fontanelle means fountain. So I have her sitting here with a fountain. There's a lot of symbolism. There's a lot in here. And in these sacred waters, we have the exclusion zone, the fourth phase of water, the H3O2. And that's what these particular hexagons are creating. These are bonds inside the water, creating this hexagonal lattice that I talk about all the time. And this creates enormous charge. You could tell they look like they're turning into computer chips, Oh, Kufi. Okay, thank you. I didn't know that. I know it's COIF, so I thought it was Coif, but it is Kufi. So thank you for that. So I knew Kufis. I wore Kufis when I was a kid, but I didn't know those were called Kufi and spelled COIF. But man, you learn something every day. All right, so now we're going into the cerebral spinal fluid, and this labyrinth represents the brain. We got the left side of the brain here, and then when you see all the S's and the curves here, that's the right side of the brain. And this is the cerebral spinal fluid that flows through the channels of the brain, feeding the brain the nutrients, the iodine flooding in the brain. When I go back into the ebook, and the ebook is like a companion to this. So you can read the ebook, you can watch the video, and check the ebook out, and you'll really be able to grasp, what I'm talking about with these images. And with the bioluminescent water, that's because this water is special too, and it's very charged and it's very strong, So here's a pine cone because the third ventricle connects to the pineal gland. So this is enlightenment being sustained or gained rather, and you gained light body, and now you're able to resonate with your environment. It's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So as we move forward, now we're dealing with the thymus, okay? And this teacher represents the thymus gland because the thymus gland is an educator, a professor, or a teacher that teaches the T cells. And these students essentially are the T cells. That's what you're looking at right now. Okay, so you're looking at the teacher walking, and that's why you see T's all over their shirt. He's educating the T cells, and the T cells are the immune system. They're going to grow up and they're going to be soldiers and fit to be able to help to stabilize the body. All right. Here we go, focusing in on the carotid artery and the cervical lymph, which exists on the neck. So we're looking at those lymph nodes there. And, when you got that together, you have a real powerful defense. That's why I have these beautiful sisters in armor. And just because they're in armor, it doesn't take away from their femininity. You know what I'm saying? It don't take away from them at all. And it's to kind of show the universal nature of a woman, that one woman is all women. You know what I mean? I hope y'all are following. All right, let's keep going. So then we got the brother right here meditating, and he's the fire energy, you know what I mean? That plasma, that coherence domain that exists in that water. Now with that charge, he's going to go ahead and ground it, right? And that iron, that charge, that magnetism is going to flow through the blood, is going to power the blood, because the blood and the lymph, they have this dance. And just like they have this dance, lymph has a two-sided dance that it has about charging and drainage as well. And I wanted to do that by way of this Janus face, this Egyptian Janus face. Let me bring that back real quick. Hold on, man. The Egyptian Janus face showing the two sides as it's flipping from the fire, the energy to earth, into more of the water energy, with the female, and then we going through the GALT, which is the gut associated lymphatic tissue, which exists inside the intestines, and we're traveling through this particular tissue in the intestines right now. And now, as opposed to the beginning, where we were looking at the Tin Man, where he lost his way. Here we have a woman. She's focused. She's hydrated. She's oiled back up. She's so oiled back up that she's pouring her oil. She don't even have to look at the bottle, and she got her head on swivel. She's paying attention to the details and what's going on around her. Why? So that she can restructure that fascia. You know what I mean? Get that fascia back together and turn her back into this amazing melanin woman. I got a list of the herbs that help with lymphatic when I get through the book. So as the fascia is strengthened and nourished, the immune system, your defense system becomes indestructible. And that's what this brother represents, just indestructible. And he represents the kind of the purpose, the focus, the foreman, so to speak, of your mind and your conscious, making sure that everything is going according to plan. And you see a table of nutrients, and he's discussing with the defense, you know what I'm saying, making sure everything is right and exact so enlightenment can continue. This represents piezoelectricity because through lymphatics and through the fascia, the stretching, the flexing, the cracking of the quartz crystal creates current, and current creates charge, and that powers it up. So I wanted to show a hammer hitting quartz and electricity coming out so you could really see. Now with this, you activate the black sun. These represent, let me back up. These sisters represent all of the neural pathways, melanated neural pathways in the brain that collectively comes together. Oh snap, April 20th. I'll be looking forward for that. I need to be in that season. And they're surrounding the substantia nigra. They're surrounding the doorway or the portal, the inner black sun, and they're activating it. And when they do, that's when you're going to get to these higher beings, these higher selves, these melanated beings that are there, and they're waiting the woman, the feminine, to arrive. And there they go, ready to go, And this represents Ra and that infrared energy, and that's Kepa Ra, and he is, fanning the flame on the red sun and the infrared, which ignites the brain and connects to everything in the body. And lymphatic is about drainage. So this is the drain. This is it draining everything out, all of that stuff coming out. And this is you coming back up. And this represents Rupus Negra, the Mount Meru, or the central mountain that's in the center of the flat earth, where the aurora borealis and the black sun shoots the green beam out of the center of the earth. That just represents the stabilization. You are flowing around the axis. I appreciate you, David. David hooked me up. Good looking, brother. But yeah, so this is the movie. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna play it again real quick after I just made those points, and then after I'm done playing it for the second time, I'm going to get back to the ebook. Okay. All right. So let's go again. Uh-oh. Where's the sound? Oh, that's why. All right. Yeah. That was yeah, that was nice. That was nice. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it with me. Now let's share. Let's get back. Let's get back to the boom, 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 boom. All right. So we was at 4, the glymphatic portal, the brain's cleansing light. During deep sleep, particularly under darkness and melatonin's orchestration, the glymphatic system opens up like an invisible river. That's that bioluminescent blue in the labyrinth that you saw. CSF flows through astrocytic channels surrounding blood vessels, flushing metabolic waste, amyloid proteins, and oxidative debris. This nocturnal cleaning is enhanced by infrared light exposure during the day and total darkness at night. Substances like psilocybin interact with this system by modulating serotonin receptors in the brain's ventricles and pineal gland, expanding fluid, conductance, and allowing consciousness to momentarily bypass the boundaries of normal neural flow. This state resembles an opening of the fontanelle, letting higher frequencies of information descend into structured form. From the etheric perspective, both systems, lymphatic and glymphatic, serve one sacred purpose: to circulate the light of life. The CSF and the lymph are the twin rivers of the dielectric field. When water in these systems become structured, it forms coherent exclusion zones and generate flow without friction. This is the real pump of the body, not the mechanical pressure, but charge differential. As sunlight enters the skin, as iodine tunes metabolism, and as fascia moves like a crystalline web, these systems synchronize. The carotid arteries carry structured plasma to the brain, while the veins and lymphatics return the spent charge to the heart for repolarization. The body is a torus of flow, and its purification depends on this continuous dance of implosion and expansion. This is why I had two-face comedic flip, Peace to one. Thank you. Thank you. So, 6, healing principles. Hydration. This is for your lymphatic. You drink structured, mineral-rich water, coconut water, hydrogen-rich water to maintain plasma conductivity and lymph viscosity. Movement. Engage in daily rhythmic motion, cycling, rebounding, dancing to pump lymph and oxidate fascia. Pelvic and Kegel practices. Strengthen the root diaphragm to enhance lymphatic propulsion and endocrine balance. Do your Kegels. Get that pubicoccus and that pelvic floor together. Sunlight and grounding. Morning sunlight to entrain circadian timing and activate CSF glymphatic tides. Barefoot contact to stabilize voltage. Sleep in darkness. Prioritize full spectrum daylight and deep night darkness for glymphatic detox and melatonin regeneration. Nourishment. Support GALT and immune balance through glutamine-rich foods, chlorophyll, and plant minerals. Carotid artery. The carotid artery and cervical lymph nodes represent a powerful convergence between the circulatory and lymphatic systems. The channels of light and purification that pass through the neck, the body's central energy gateway, the carotid arteries running along each side of the neck deliver oxygen-rich, structured plasma directly to the brain, eyes, and pineal region, acting as rivers of charge and consciousness. Surrounding these arteries lie the cervical lymph nodes, which filter lymphatic fluid from the scalp, face, sinuses, and throat. These nodes serve as purification stations, clearing waste and microbial debris while maintaining immune balance in the head and upper body. When either becomes stagnant from poor posture, dehydration, or lack of movement, pressure, swelling, and brain fog can occur. Gentle neck movement, hydration, and sunlight exposure help restore rhythmic flow, ensuring both arterial plasma and lymphatic water move in harmony, nourishing and cleansing the seat of perception and speech. Carotid sheath and cervical lymph. The carotid sheath is a dynamic fascial envelope that houses the carotid artery, internal jugular vein, and vagus nerve, a trinity of flow, communication, and charge. In unified healing physics, this sheath is more than anatomy. It's a piezoelectric conductor where mechanical tension from breath and posture converts into subtle electrical currents that influence blood pressure, lymph drainage, and brain perfusion. The cervical lymph nodes cluster along this sheath like crystalline filters, clearing metabolic waste, immune debris, and electromagnetic charge from the head and neck. The fascia surrounding them believes like a living quartz matrix, compressible and responsive, translating every swallow, breath, and pulse into bioelectric harmony. When the fascia is supple, the carotid toroidal flow and the lymph centripetal pulse synchronize, creating a rhythmic dialogue between the brain, heart, and immune field. Tension, dehydration, or forward head posture can restrict this fascia, dampening the piezoelectric current and congesting both blood and lymph, restoring elasticity through hydration, gentle neck mobilization, humming to stimulate vagal tone, and grounding reawakens the sheath's electromechanical intelligence, allowing the carotid's plasma light and the lymphatic waters to circulate freely, nourishing the nervous system and clearing the field of stagnation. So, humming, when you think about incantations, tones, when you hum, you feel it in your neck. And that vibration, that cervical sheath feels that, and it turns that sound, that mechanical pressure, that vibration into charge and into energy. Thank you, Mark Fleming. I appreciate that. 9 quick action steps. Hydrate with minerals. Did I put that twice? I might have put that twice. Did I put that twice already? Hold on. No. It looked like I said this already. Healing principles. Yeah, I already said healing principles, and then quick action steps. I got 9. Are these exactly the same? They might be different. Hold on, did I copy this twice? Oh no, these are different. They're slightly different. All right. Hydrate with minerals, neck mobility, breath work, humming or chanting, sunlight and grounding, posture reset, movement and heat. Okay. 10, rebounding and jump rope for lymphatic flow. Rebounding, mini trampoline, and jump rope are 2 of the most effective. These are great for weight loss. All y'all women trying to lose weight, get a rebounder. Rebounding and jump rope are 2 of the most effective natural activators of the lymphatic system, the body's second heart. Okay, that's what they call the calves, Since lymph have no central pump, rhythmic vertical motion creates gravitational pulses that open and close lymphatic valves, propelling fluid through the nodes and vessels. Each bound or jump alternates between G-force compression and weightless suspension, generating a wave of piezoelectric energy through the fascia, squeezing toxins out of tissues while pulling in oxygen nutrients. This mechanical electrical action charges the body's fluids, reawakens mitochondrial respiration, and clears stagnant lymph from the legs, pelvis, and abdomen. All right. 11, top lymphatic herbs. Okay. Mucilage, cucumeca, chaparro. These are all on the site. Abago blend. Y'all could screenshot some of these, or you can get it. It's 17. All of the ebooks are 17. This one's a little longer than the other ones. I kind of went a little deeper. Quattro latte, arnica, episodi, toranjo, cardamoriano, cardezo de encino, horsetail, damiana, Miriam flower, canya fistula. These are all great lymphatic herbs. Closing, the lymphatic and lymphatic systems are the tide of immortality flowing through the human form. They are not drains of waste, but rivers of renewal where light becomes liquid and liquid becomes life. When we move, breathe, ground, and sleep with rhythm and awareness, the waters flow clear again. The inner fountains, the ventricles, the lymph nodes, the fascia sing together, and the whole body hums in radiant coherence. Okay. The heart is not a mechanical pump, it's a vortex generator. Blood enters the heart already moving, spiraling through the veins under its own laminar momentum. The left ventricle catches that spiral like a turbine catching edge. Toroidal contraction does push blood, but rather creates a vacuum, drawing it forward in coherent spiral through the aortic arch. This suction wave, not pressure, drives circulation and establishing the velocity differential that oxygenates the blood as it passes through the lungs and vessels. The easy layers and capillaries act like biological capacitors, separating charge between plasma and endothelial walls. This allows proton pumping, charge-based propulsion to sustain flow even in microcapillaries smaller than red blood cells. Thus, light and charge, not mechanical pressure, are what keep blood circulating continuously. Unlike the heart, the lymphatic system has no muscle-based engine, and that's because it doesn't operate on pressure mechanics. Lymph flow is dielectric, not hydraulic. The fascia and connective tissue create piezoelectric matrix that converts movement, breath, and posture into electrical potential. Every step, breath, or pulse generates microcurrents that draw lymph through its one-way valves. In essence, the lymphatic flow is the heart shadow current. It moves when the field is coherent, not when the muscle contracts. The heart provides the centrifugal thrust, while the lymph responds with centripetal implosion, the inward cooling, cleansing return. When blood slows diastole, the lymph accelerates, clearing waste and balancing charge. The two systems are complementary oscillations in one toroidal cycle. Blood delivers light, oxygen, and nutrients outward. Lymph returns waste, heat, and entropy inward. Their synchronizations maintain the body's internal dielectric equilibrium, the true meaning of circulation. The key lies in the easy water and fascia. Both systems depend on structured charged water for flow. The heart muscles provide brief compression, but the lymph's flow depends entirely on expansion and resonance, movement, diaphragmic breathing, grounding, and coherent light exposure. When the heart slows, the blood stagnates. Lymph flow decreases not because it's off, but because the charge differential collapses. Without the light-driven polarity, the return current can't move, leading to edema, brain fog, and immune stagnation. The principle. So the relationship is this. The heart creates centrifugal magnetic discharge. The lymph completes it with centripetal dielectric return. The heart moves blood by vacuum. The lymph moves light by implosion. Together, they sustain the torus, the living electromagnetic loop that is the human body. And that, my gentlemen and ladies, is understanding the lymphatic and glymphatic systems with KT the Arch degree, coupled with a wondrous video. So if any of y'all are interested in that video, go to the website. Come to think about it, I got the let me see. Where are you? So yeah, if you go to the website now, a couple little rearrangements took place. But if you go to the product page, Nessuit Nectar has its own page now. Then I have Redox and Longevity line. I have Sacred Herbs. I have ebooks and guides. I have bioelectric wellness kits. Now I got kits, kind of little combo, little packages, courses, and consultations. So if you go to Nessuit Nectar, matter of fact, let me see. We're going to do that. And we're going to take that around. One second. Let's see if I could all right, so yeah, let's do this. All right, so this is the main page. We got some featured products here. We got the bioelectric kits right there. Of course, we got our reviews, testimonials, and stuff. But I'm gonna go to product page, Nest Nectar. So now this is the Nest Nectar items. We got the dropper, we got the jar, we got the grande, and then we got the big boy. You got to email us for that one. Um, Redox and longevity line. All right. So here we have the Glymphatic. We have the P3. We only got maybe 2 left of those. Those about to be out. Purple Sea Moss, Sotriol D, Salvation, Chlorella, Bontana. The honey is on sale right now, the Chlorella and all that. It says, save 50 off the dropper and jar. It doesn't say all the different items, but some of these items inside of featured products are half off. Not all of them, but majority of them are. So then we got sacred herbs, so we got all the bulk herbs in here, Then we got ebooks and guides. We have the heart, the eyes, the digestive system, hair, skin, and nails, the brain, nervous system, the blood, the lymphatic and glymphatic systems. And like I said, I have how many did I have? I think I had 17 altogether. This is only 8. So I think I have another 9 I have to upload. All right. Then I got bioelectric wellness kit. So we got the circulatory balance kit, so you get like Gephi tea and sarsaparilla, perilla oil, cucumeca, mucilage is in there. You got the liver and kidney support kit. You got the limitless kit. You got the feminine renewal kit, the immune strength kit, the energy and endurance kit, the calm and clarity kit, and the redox and renewal. Redox and renewal, you get a Nesu nectar dropper, you get a phyto, you get sultriol, perilla oil, purple sea moss. So, the description tells you what you get. I can't get too deep in what these things do in the descriptions because then they say, I'm claiming to do this and claiming to do that. So I keep it vague. But if y'all are interested in further info, you can always email us about that. But if you see these individual products, you know what those products do by now. Unless you're new to me, then yeah, I understand. Just inquire. And then we got courses and consultations. We got the phone consultation. Then we got the in-person. And then we got Herbal University. So you got to request invoice for that too. So these are the updates on the site. So I have that going on. Got the new ebook for y'all. Got the video. I'm going to do my narration on there and actually put that up on I think it's going to be on Patreon. Yeah, it'll be on Patreon, and I'll put a clip. I'll probably put like a 60-second preview or something like that on YouTube, and I'll put the whole thing with the narration on my Patreon for my Patreon people. But yeah, and then for those that aren't on Patreon, don't want to be Patreon, I played it a few times on here, so you could watch it on here, But that is what I have for y'all today. Let me see if I got some questions in here that I can answer. Yeah, I talked about that with the fascia botanical bro 888. We covered that already. Okay, no questions, no questions. All right, so yeah, we got some amazing things on the site if y'all are interested. Those of y'all that are interested in Herbal University, we're down to I think our last 2 seats now. Last time I was on here, I think I said I had 4 or maybe 5 seats. I think I'm down to 2 now. If y'all are interested, just reach out to info@Psionic Botanicals so you can learn 26 formulations with me through a amazing interactive online platform so you can get this knowledge for you, your family, and for business. And still selling the honey wholesale. Still got a couple items on sale on the site. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I appreciate all of y'all for coming out and joining me today. I just wanted to drop this on y'all real quick. I'm glad that y'all are here and present, and we're entertained. I'm glad y'all liked that video. It was fun. It was a fun journey, just wanting to tell the story of the human body, um, because I feel that allegories always help people understand high science. So it works the same with teaching people how their body works. But yeah, so y'all enjoy y'all the rest of y'all Sunday. The week is about to start up, and blessings and love to all of you. I appreciate y'all touching bases with me tonight. Love and light. Peace.